Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Ricki Mckenna, and you're now in my kitchen, and we are all on USA Global TV and radio. So welcome wherever you are. And please join us if you're on radio, if you're on the YouTube, on the video channels, please join us and comment. Let us know you're there. And again, my name is Ricki Mckenna. I am a chef. I'm a certified nutritionist for more than 23 years, and I have been cooking, thank you. And of course, Ricki's Kitchen is food for thought as well as actual food. So today we will be making two things. We're making lunch or dinner, however you want to use it, and it's called chicken lettuce wraps, which we will do I'll show you how I put the chicken together and everything together. And then we'll be doing some cucumber guacamole, just a little bit something different, because I'm in Houston, Texas, and I believe Dr. JACALYN is in Florida, and we are having a heat wave. So I figured we're going to do cool food for the hot outside and just get ourselves really comfortable. So as I say, good morning, evening, afternoon, and welcome to my kitchen. The food was take a chicken breast with which I have marinated, actually peanuts. I'll show you how to do the peanut sauce in a few minutes. I'm just going to take the chicken breast and slice it up. I'm not dicing it yet, but I will dice it because, of course, it cooks faster that way, and it cooks a little more thoroughly in a hurry. So if we want to use this piece, we will have it ready. And it was part of it. And, sorry. We're going to put it in a pan with a little teeny bit of olive oil, and I will dice it now, just up into bite-sized pieces at this point, and I'll show you what we'll do with the rest of the chicken before we put it in the wrap. So we'll take the chicken. You can use turkey, you can use chicken, but today we're doing chicken. So we'll put it in a pan. And I'm going to put it on a low to medium heat so that it cooks slowly, but it will cook very efficiently this way. Now that we've cut it up a little bit, and since this is a non-stick pan, I'm using a wooden tool, my favorite wooden tool. Ta-da, spoon. Okay, now what we'll do for the lettuce wraps, first of all, I got head lettuce this time. I got organic head lettuce, which looks like so. You can use butter lettuce. You can use any lettuce that's foldable, that's malleable. I love romaine, really crispy to use for wraps. So we're going to use the head lettuce. Chicken that's already cooked. And if you notice, I'm putting it right back where the marinade was because it's actually the peanut sauce that we'll make. I cooked a batch up that you can see. Let me bring it closer. It's cut up into little bite-sized pieces, but I'm going to cut them up even a little bit more so that they go into the wrap and they're easy to eat. And we're going to cut up a few other things as well, just into little less than bite-sized pieces, let's put it that way. You can use chicken breast, which I did. You can use, actually, this is a piece of chicken thighs. And so choose your meat. If you like dark meat, you can use that. I actually do prefer dark meat for eating, but then again, we've got a bunch of other things, and lots of people do like the white meat. So I'm cutting it up into little pieces, smaller than the bite size actually. So it'll fit well in the lettuce. And we'll wrap it up shortly and show you how to do that. What I recommend when doing this, if you're going to do a bunch of them, you do kind of an assembly line. You take, whoop, there we go. We've got about, maybe half a cup of chicken right here. What I recommend you do is do your assembly line with your chicken. And we're going to dice up a couple of scallions. And I'm just going to move this little board over. I like to use the silicone or other boards for cutting meats because it doesn't get into the wood. So I'm just going to give this knife. I like to keep my chopping board clean. And when you put meats and things on it, they tend to get into the wood. Now, wood is sort of self-cleaning. I don't know if you've heard that. But I love my wooden chopping board. And I'm cutting this on an angle. So I have these kind of diagonal slivers of scallion. And I'm just going to cut up one for now. My recipe calls for 2 of them, but since we're just going to do 1 or 2 here, we can do this. We can usually end up with about 4 wraps if you do 2, and you do a little bit more of the chicken, which I will do. Then I'm going to julienne some carrots. And as I said, we're going to create an assembly line. So I'm going to take the scallion that I've cut up, put that in a little bowl. Actually, let's do 2. So we have plenty. I'm going to start at the opposite end this time, cutting up my scallion. And you can cut it any way you like, but I think that the diagonal is pretty and as well as easy to fit into the wraps. So it actually is edible when you bite into the wrap. And you get the lettuce and you get all sorts of goodies. Okay, so I've got 2 scallions cut up into my little bowl. And now we're going to take our carrot and do the same thing. Let's julienne that. And just chop that up into or something that helps you julienne something like carrots. And actually, this little gadget will do that, but actually, I'm not sure how to use it yet. It's a brand new goodie. I'll find out for the next time so we can julienne something. Here we go. I'm just going to cut the carrot to the thin diagonal slices. You can see them. They're little, and we're going to cut them up a little further so that they're like julienne, which of course looks kind of like matchsticks. Here we go. There we go. When you get to the big top, it's a little tougher to do it, but you can do it. Just be careful of your fingers. Okay, now I'm going to put them all lengthwise and go through them again and make julienne out of them. Or approximately julienne, anyway. But small enough to fit in like little slivers into the wraps. And I can hear my chicken starting to sizzle a wee bit, so I'm going to check that as soon as I finish this. And we'll see how that looks. Here we go. Okay, now here's my other bowl. So we're going to put the carrots in that one. You can see they got skinny. Okay, so I've got my chicken, my carrots, and my scallion all ready. And we are going to create a lovely peanut sauce. If you'll give me just a minute to move this stuff over and see how the chicken is doing over here. Ah, perfect. And I have to tell you, I cheated a little bit. Let's do the peanut sauce first. And let me get another little bowl. Here we go. Oops. Is fish star, are we still on? Excuse me for 1 second. I think we're having a little challenge. Okay. I think there might be an internet connection challenge a little bit here, so I hope you can still see me and what we're doing. Okay, we've got fish sauce, and I happen to have some harissa adobo. Now you can use something like the harissa, which is a combination of spicy goodies, and it's a dip. It's a very kind of, not creamy, but it's more than a liquid. And I'm going to take about a teaspoon or two. It's a good sauce. It is very spicy. So I'm going to take a couple of teaspoons of that. And I'm going to take about the same amount of the fish sauce, which is always fun to open. Okay. And I'm going to pour that in. Oop. I guess I'll measure. It's a couple of teaspoons plus a little left that gets over the spoon. So it's not an exact measurement, and you do it to your tolerance of the spice. And then we mix it up. Now I can use this sauce just as it is. It makes a nice sauce to fit in with the wrap. But since this one actually calls for peanut sauce, I'm going to take a little peanut butter. And this is just peanuts and a little bit of salt. So sugar in it, I have a tablespoon. We're creating our very own spicy peanut sauce. It's going to make these Asian wraps taste absolutely wonderful. And it does make it thicker. I can show you the consistency now. It got quite a bit thicker. Works fine simply because it's going to go in between all the vegetables, and you don't want it to drip out when you're eating the wraps. And if it gets a little bit too thick, let's taste. Interesting. I can add just a teeny bit drop. Actually, what I'm going to do is add a little drop of olive oil. I mean a drop. There. To give it a little bit more, not really liquid, but thick liquid consistency. Okay. So there we have our peanut sauce that we made from three different things that you can do at home if you don't have your own peanut sauce. Okay, so I've got my peanut sauce, I've got my lettuce, and I'm going to use a smaller one actually. So very carefully break off a wrap or a leaf, excuse me. And we have This one's a little bit big, but I wanted you to be able to see that. So now I have a really good size. It's probably the size of bigger than a softball, but at any rate, you can see that. And what we're going to do first is go see how our chicken's doing. And make sure that it's cooking nicely. Smells good. All right, and I'm letting it cook on low. You want to cook it thoroughly, whether it's chicken or turkey. So now I'm going to take my cut up chicken, put it in the wrap. I'm going to take a little bit of the sauce and just kind of dot it on there. You can see what I'm doing. Just give it a little bit. It's almost too thick. But that's right now. We're a little handful of carrots. Add those in. Anything you want, but these are really simple and extremely tasty. So we're keeping it simple and really easy to do, and they work quickly. And did I mention that if you have some leftover chicken, this is a wonderful way to repurpose your leftover chicken. Okay, there we have it. I'm going to add just a teeny bit more of the sauce and kind of mix it around in there carefully, not to break the lettuce, but I want to get the sauce evenly distributed if possible. You can mix everything beforehand, but it's just as easy to put it in the wrap. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to fold up the bottom of it carefully so it doesn't come out, and fold the top a little bit. And here we go. You can pick your side if it's left or right. And there you have it. I mean, it's that simple. And hopefully, because we put some of the lettuce, we wrapped it on the bottom, it won't come out. And you start at the top. So I'm going to put this on a plate. Okay. So there's our lettuce wrap. And I'm going to keep this for the next one. Actually, let's make another one. We have plenty of time today. So I'm going to cut up a little bit more of the chicken. Let's just do this here. And we'll do another one. This one, we'll mix everything before we put it in the wrap. So you can see either way to do it works. I don't know if you can see. There we go. Just cutting it up a little bit more so it's easier to eat. And it gets together with the other goodies in the wrap very easily. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention, I did mention the fact that I have this board on top of my wooden board, because wood is wonderful. I love my wooden chopping block. I wouldn't give it up for anything. But when you're working with raw meats, especially like chicken or turkey, it's best to have another kind of board like the silicone or whatever. This is one that I'm using that's a silicone, and you can put it right in the dishwasher, which is great. Okay, so there I have my chicken already, and I'm going to take some more of my scallions and some of my carrots. And if you want, really are marvelous because it's an Asian, more of an Asian flavor. So we're going to mix it up here. Mix all the ingredients. And as you can see, I'm mixing right on the mat, which is fine. I'm going to take a big glop of my sauce and distribute it. Here we go. And let's mix that up. So this one we're mixing up before we put it into the lettuce wrap. So you can do it either way. This makes sure that everything gets distributed evenly as far as the spices. And So it's up to you how you want to do it. Got this nice little bunch of goodies here, and you can add more if you like. I'm going to add just a little bit more of the scallions. And I've also done these where I've added a wee bit of rice, if you want to include that in. But I'd rather stick with the proteins and the vegetables right now. You get plenty of starch otherwise. So this is basically a protein veggie wrap that we're doing. And we'll take another wonderful little leaf off carefully. Kind of have to unwrap it carefully. I'm going to cut the bottom on this one so it comes off. And you can always do that, so you can just unwrap it. Perfect. Okay, so what I did was I took the base where the leaf forms and I just very carefully sliced across it to do that. So that makes it easy. And I've got this wonderful little pocket that this one's about the size of a softball. And we're going to stuff it with our mixture. Kind of makes it easier when you do the spices beforehand, as you can see. The sauce. There we go. This one's really going to be fat. All right. So we're going to carefully fold that one up. I can show you there. Fold it up. You can hear it crunching. And if you need to put these out for a while before you're going to be eating, you might want to put a toothpick in to hold it together. But I think these are going to hold together pretty well on the plate. I'm facing the opening part of it down. So there we have it, lettuce wraps. And our next fun goodie will be the guacamole to go with it. And I'm going to give my spoon a little wash there. Now I can take this out of the way and take my avocado. A nice red avocado. And I'm just going to give this a little bit of cleanup. Surface on which to put the avocado. Actually, the bowl that it goes into. There we go. So we'll take our bowl. And every time I open an avocado, I say a little prayer that is going to be absolutely beautiful. I did this yesterday, made some of them yesterday, and we just slice it. Oops, there we go. Kind of wiggle it, twist it until it, oh, lovely. Isn't that pretty? Ta-da! Now, take the pit out, but do not throw it away. Because once you've made your guacamole and you want to store it in your refrigerator, you want to be able to put the pit in the middle of it. And just to let you know what I'm talking about, here's the finished product. And you can see the pit is living in the middle of it. And that was done yesterday, and it has not turned. It was sealed in a glass container. And what happens with avocado, usually, if you're not careful, is they start to get brown. That's called oxidation. So what you want is to prevent it from oxidizing, and your little old pit is the thing that does it. So we're just going to save that in there. And I'm going to cut my avocado, just slice it a few times each way. You don't have to do that. You can just take it out in chunks, but this makes it easier when you're creating the guacamole because it's already in pieces. Here we go. And as I say, you can do it the other way too. Just cut big chunks. That's fine if you want to do it that way. Except I think I chunked a little piece of the, no, I didn't. Okay. I thought I got the end in there, but sometimes that does happen. And there we go. And this is a very simple guacamole. So we're going to take my favorite tool besides the wooden spoon is a large fork to break it up. And we're just going to start breaking it up a little bit more now. And as we add all the other goodies to it, it will break up more. So there we have our avocado, and that's ready. Now I'm going to take a cucumber. I've already sliced this one in half, and I did slightly peel it. You can see this one's got stripes of peel because I really like putting the peel in. It gives it more crunch, and it also gives you more vitamins and minerals. So from a nutritional standpoint, you can either peel it or not and cut it in half. And the one thing that we are going to do is take the seeds out. Your alternative to getting a regular cucumber like this, and let me just put this, we'll put the seeds in here, is to get the seedless English cucumbers. And so I want you to see how we're doing this. I'm just going to take a grapefruit spoon and scrape my seeds out. And it does help to have a little bowl or vessel for the seeds to go into because they're juicy. And so we'll just take that. And once we've got the seeds out, I love grapefruit spoons. They're a great tool. I'm going to small up. And as I said, peel on. Actually, another I'll show you is with the fork. If you don't want to take the peel completely off, I'll show you how to do that in a minute. Meantime, I'm just going to slice this into tiny diced bite-sized pieces. And if you've made guacamole before, usually you use onion or scallions. I prefer red onion in my guacamole or white. There we go. We've got tiny diced little pieces of cucumber, and I actually used a half of a medium-sized avocado. If you use 2 avocados, I would double that. So now we have the avocado and the cucumber. Okay, then we're going to take our tomato, and I've got a nice little Roma tomato. It's not teeny tiny, but it's not a huge one. But first I'm going to mix up the cucumber with the avocado, so that's pretty well mixed. And as you can see, it's pretty thick. So what I'm going to do, when we add the tomato, we're going to add it in just with all its juices and the seeds. If you want to, you can seed it, but I don't even bother. We're going to take the end and slice this guy up and dice it. Let's get it up there, little piece. Okay.
Hi, this is Dr. JACALYN. We seem to have lost Ricki, so it must be something going on with her internet. So we do apologize. Thank you, Karen, for your comment. We appreciate it. And if Ricki joins back in, I'll bring her back up. But otherwise, we thank you for being here today and look forward to seeing you next week. Our next show is coming up, and it is The Listening Mentor, and that is at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, followed by Loving Longevity. And after that, we have our 75th episode of presenting Pet Psychic Amina. Thank you so much. And again, our apologies for Ricki dropping off, and hopefully she'll get back with us next week. Thank you, everyone.